Yo, what's up guys? Sammy33 coming back. A video I haven't done for a while because it's been a while since we have played NHL 20, which will change later today. So I'm happy to come back in and play. I also want to say thank you to Harris Heller. If you guys didn't know, I'll put the link here in the bottom for Stream Beats, royalty-free music that you can play in the background, whether you're gaming, whether you're doing YouTube videos. Conveniently, I'm doing a YouTube video. Something handy to have in the background just to have a change of pace. This dog's killing me though. Anyway, that said, we have something to do, something I haven't done for a while. Let's talk about the NHL draft. Tonight's draft night in the NFL. Why don't we talk about the NHL draft? First of all, let's talk about the season. Need to have priorities. So it's been a while. So let's just kind of look and see where we're at before we jump into taking some L's later today, which I'm sure are going to happen. Hello. Should have worn my Sabres hat instead of my Padres hat for this video, but that's okay. It's perfectly okay. So what we have here is we are far into the season. Let's not forget, we're pretty much 3/4 of the way through the season. We'll be that way by the end of the night. We have 25 games left. We're getting close to the end of the year. Really excited, trying to hold off Toronto to get a playoff spot. Boston's kind of creeping in there. Boston and Montreal hovering. But really, the competition is Toronto. And wouldn't you know, I play Toronto tonight. Surprise, huh? So, my hope tonight, as it always is to make it through 3 games. 4 would be ideal. We're going to play some Mega Man after. But you see, we've got Columbus, we've got Toronto, and we've got the Senators. Though perfectly fine. Oh man, the next is going to be crazy. I kind of want to play 4 because of the Penguins. We'll see. But we're looking at getting a little over a week going to February 21st, which is nice. And the reason why this is nice is looking at the draft. It's getting closer. We've got to deal with the season, of course, but let's talk about where we're at. It's going to take some time getting back used to this. You can see we've got a lot of stuff to do. So potentially February 21st is the time we're looking at getting some of these things done. So we've been looking at goalies. We all know that is by far my priority. So let's take a look at this dude. What do we know? Scout ranks him at 90. C- competition. Good metrics. So I like this guy. Strengths, glove hands. He plays glove hand well, plays angles well, is able to get back and forth. Only thing is his poise. That means if you were to give up a bad goal, it may break him down in his endurance, which means defensively we need to do our job and limit the amount of shots that you see, or he sees. But great reflexes. Very solid player. Puck control is good, and that's something that I really have complained about with the goalies I have now. Even when they make that initial save, it's that secondary shot that comes off because they don't control the puck, giving up too many rebound goals. So something like that would be helpful. A friend starter. I like this guy. This is something to look at. That'll be a guy that I probably end up going to get for sure, though. But I want to go back to something here. You see how there's 4? I haven't talked about this much. Those 4 lines means that he is perfectly scouted. Best that we're going to get. Everything is known about him, so we can move on. Fortunately, I don't really see anybody else worth really going after. I'll check this guy out. He still could use a little bit of work. An AHL starter. I'm going to look at the athleticism is depressing. We'll continue to look at him and see what we get. So we've got that. Defenseman. Even though we have a lot of young ones in the pipe, I still want to take a look and see what else potentially could be out here. This guy's ranked 39. This guy's ranked 60. Take a look at both these guys. Start with skill assessment always. I've been told it's best to start with strengths and weaknesses, but I like skill assessment first, just kind of get an idea of what they are. Anyway, start there. So he's done. WHL. Take a look at goalies again. One's ranked 112. See, this guy looks pretty good too. See, we've done more scouting specifically of goalies around the middle of the year. So now that I know this, we can actually take a look at more guys. Take a look at both of them. Do my due diligence. So, looking at you, strengths and weaknesses, look at skill assessment first. Then I can focus a little bit more. So we got him. This guy, don't know a lot about him. Focus on skill assessment. Skills and strengths and weaknesses are what I look at first, because then after that I base everything pretty easily after that. Because if I invest time in the other stuff and then I come back and see the skills aren't good, I'm not going to draft them. Versus if I go skills, strengths, and weaknesses first, I'm going to feel much more confident about potentially drafting that player. It all starts with goaltending though. That's where it all starts. Now this one, I don't necessarily see a goalie that this guy might not be bad. Let's look into it a little bit more. And then we'll go to defensemen. -4, competition's a C. Don't know too much about him, so let's take a look. Pretty much takes it about that time that we're looking for. USA Central. Not exactly a hotbed of prospects, but we'll still take a look. This guy's went down. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. You already know he sucks, so we can skip that. Rest our time again. Defenseman, but there's really no one out of this one. I have to go with forwards because there's just not a lot to look at. Skills, Galvin, bad face-offs. I mean, I'm bad at face-off. I like this. Strength is defensive zone play, which means he's a good defensive-minded guy. That alone will get him a look in my eyes. Okay, it takes us to February 22nd. This guy. Scout specific players. Start with goalies again. Potential as a backup. I'm actually going to check this guy out. One thing I like about NHL, there are some gems that you can potentially find late in the draft. You have to look for them, but they do exist and they are there. Alright, so my scout has this guy ranked higher. He's fully scouted too. We can actually start sorting our board. Notice that green diamond up there? Important. Keep that in mind going forward. Oh, sorry. It's important to know. We'll keep an eye on that guy. We have him ranked 75 versus the journal rank, so we'll take a look at him. Okay. He's almost done. He's looking at no one. Same thing, again, starting with goalies. Really uphill, so we just skip that, and then defensemen. No one rated higher. This is really, let's be honest, this is really bad territory altogether. Really don't know what to have him look at. That's a little bit of a problem. Like, I feel like no matter where he looks, it's not going to end up well, because it's just not good players. Though this guy rates as a B. across the board. Huh. We'll look into it a little bit more. Anyway, moving along. Okay. AHL will kind of do. Oh, he's already assigned. Just the USA in general doesn't have a lot of great players to look at. That's truthfully been the case in a lot of hockey games. Do my due diligence with the goalies though. So again, I'm hoping that I can find one here that actually turns out to be solid. I'm not feeling optimistic about it, but you know, you never know. Might get lucky and find someone there to take late that could be super helpful. But if we talk about one thing this draft, I can assure you, we will leave no stone unturned in terms of finding a solid goalie. That I can promise you. Super, super important to me to find a goalie that can be helpful. Even if it's not for a couple of seasons, they're probably going to sim seasons later on. Look at that, even look into him a little bit more. I just need him to do something. And then we'll go to center. I guess not. We'll go to skaters. That's just a bad class in this area. You can start looking at lines. Start looking at some of those better teams. Still looking, still looking, still looking. Next one might be so one more. That was essential. Okay, look at the lines. Winnipeg. Alright, and for the most part, we're done. So we're done with all this. What I will do is we will talk about this draft board. I may start taking everyone off and focus on the watch list. But what I want to focus on is this right now, just to recap since it's been a while. Our first round pick, we have 2 second round picks this season and 2 thirds. No fourth because we gave that up in a trade, but we were able to upgrade. So we have some very solid picks here, basically 5 picks in the top 100. We need to hit on at least 3 of those. One of those likely is going to be a goalie, maybe even 2, and then 2 fifths and a 7th, maybe some stuff closer to the draft deadline. We'll see, but there are definitely a lot of players to take a look at. We can look here just quickly before we end it here. You see, there is not a single, I'll actually switch so you guys can see. No goalies recommended by my scouts. That's why I am going out of my way to find a goalie that's helpful. But you can see, for the most part, we're looking at offense. I like to get some defensive guys in there too. That said, that's fine. You will manage. So that'll be it for now. We'll play some hockey later tonight. Thanks for watching. It's nice to get back to this. And I need to go in and actually start working on that spreadsheet again because it's been a while. So refamiliarizing myself with certain players, stuff like that. And we'll be ready to do one of these next week. So thanks for watching. Take it easy and I'll catch you in the stream tonight.